Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Empowered Spirit Healing. My name is Paula, and today I have Bryce with me. How are you going today, Bryce?
I am so good. I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about. So it's a good day. It's a good day for a good
Yes,
day.
it is. I'm very excited too. We have some very exciting news today, don't we?
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
We absolutely do.
Mhm. We've had a complete and total refresh of the Esoteric Academy, and it was Bryce's brilliant idea to call it Fusion Body Studio, which I really, really love because we're going to be fusing the body and the mind and the spirit, and because what we're specializing in at Fusion Body Studio, I was about to say the Esoteric Academy then, is basically exercise and spirituality, and how exercise is the foundation of spirituality, which has completely been missed in our education, in our sports classes in high school, and all of that kind of thing. So,
Intentionally, in my opinion, intentionally, it's been kind of skewed
mhm,
a little bit. But yeah,
yeah,
I love the name, the Esoteric Academy, but I think we realized that we're so many people we can
right,
serve and help. Sciences of spirituality, which involve the foundation of exercise. However, because our universe, our world has been gotten so off course with the original teachings of the Vedic text, and nobody knows what the Esoteric Academy is besides our audience. Our audience and our students obviously know, they get it. But as far as the general public and people that we want to serve and we want to help, we realized that calling it the Esoteric Academy was probably not doing us any favors because they didn't understand what our business was
offering.
about. Right. And so
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit of confusion that we were actually a fitness training school
Mhm.
with kind of like an esoteric twist.
Right, like
But
right. Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're a bit ahead of our time for that one.
Are we trying to go back? Well, it's funny because, being in this world for so long, I mean, that was the basis of all of these old mystery schools, all of these old was
Exactly.
a gym, what we call a gym, like you working on the physical body. Like if you cannot hear me when I say this, our students understand this. You absolutely cannot,
Yeah.
you absolutely cannot achieve any type of spiritual progress unless you are in your body. It's
Yeah.
not possible
Absolutely.
because that's what you're supposed to be is in your body right now. You came here to be in a body. The body is the Shakti. That's what it's called in yoga terms. It's the Shakti of the soul. It's the creation of the soul for the soul to have the experience it needs to have. And I know for me, one of my favorite accounts, we will follow him, Godan. He's one of my favorite
Yes.
Instagram
Oh my
accounts.
God.
We share a lot of his stuff. And he
Yeah.
has a one say, he's like, exercise is actually, how does he say this? Like, exercise is a spiritual lesson in progress or something. There's a quote he says about like, exercise is actually spirituality. So and he's a personal trainer and
Yeah.
he's saying this, that it's
Yeah.
actually
And I've
spiritual.
noticed quite a few fitness people online are saying things like that about that it is the foundation of spirituality. And it's incredible to see that. Yeah, he said he shares so much great knowledge.
Great knowledge
And
about the body
yeah.
and the spirit and the mind. And that's what we're doing. We're using the body as the ancients did, as we do in yoga. We're calling it Fusion Body Studio because the body is it's the main tool. It's the main tool for spirituality. And so we're fusing the mind, body, and spirit through the body. And I was telling you, Paula, like what tends to happen, the mind and the body are 100% connected. They're never going to be disconnected. And so we
Mhm.
talked about this before. When you're trying to change your thought process, your patterning of thinking, but you can't, then forget about that. Go change your body. Because if the
Yes.
body changes, the mind can't help but change. We even see on like GoDan's pages that and other fitness professionals that exercise literally rewrites trauma in your brain.
hmm It rewires the brain. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's absolutely incredible. And they're showing so many scientific facts about reducing dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that, which is just absolutely incredible. And I mean, more of a kind of older, more common knowledge is that it releases endorphins and it really helps improve your mood. It
absolutely.
helps improve sleep. And as somebody that has struggled a lot with depression in the past, since I've been increasing my exercise in the last few months, it's just I've noticed a huge difference in my mood.
Yeah.
And I also feel like I'm just kind of coping with, because I feel like since we started our website together and everything, I've kind of, life has been crazy busy because there's just, so much more work going on, which but I don't, I love it. And I wouldn't change it for anything. But with that, more work can be more stress. And as a result, because I have been prioritizing exercise like I never have before in my life, I've noticed I feel like I'm coping with it really quite well.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is a direct result from increasing the exercise.
Yeah, your exercise should be as common as brushing your teeth. Like it should be a
Yeah.
non-negotiable for everybody. Doesn't matter. You need to prioritize because that's going to help you manage everything else in your life. And so for those who don't, I'm going to share screen quickly and show you and then Paula, you can show them inside. So for those who don't, who are part of the Esoteric Academy, nothing has changed, has it, Paula? It's still the same thing we're doing. We're still it's just the name has changed and we've cleaned it up a little bit. So we've kind of been learning as we've been going and we've made it a little bit cleaner. So if you come to the home page, which I'm signed out right now, you're going to see all the different. So we have memberships and workshops. So our courses are now under workshops. So the memberships, but let's just look at the homepage quickly here. So we have Fusion Body Studio. It's our unique online studio blends empowering fusion workouts with spiritual practices to help you build physical strength, elevate your consciousness, and step into your highest self. This is more than fitness. It's a journey of transformation from the inside out. Absolutely. And so we changed. The Esoteric Academy has evolved. Welcome to Fusion Body Studio. So we're an online fitness boutique, is what we are. That's what we were as the Esoteric Academy as well. We're an online fitness boutique. And so for people who are not in our group of little friends who understand, who've been on this journey with us for years now, for people out there in the world who have not had that yet, that understanding that, or maybe they subconsciously understand what they're doing is spiritual. Now they have a place where there is a gym. It's an online fitness boutique, but we also offer these backup workshops, other things that they can dive deeper into what's happening intellectually, mentally, spiritually to them. They have now words for it and looking at these Vedic texts to understand. Now, of course, we have the 10-day shadow work challenge. We've had a lot of people signing up for this, haven't we,
We
Paula?
have. We've had quite a few people sign up, which is great. We really love having more members, so that's fantastic. And it's completely free,
Yeah.
doesn't cost anything. You just obviously you need to use an email address to have access, but yeah, it's great. And we've been getting some great feedback from it as well.
Great. And we want to do more of these. I'm working on, of course, right now, Paula and I's main project these last few weeks is to overhaul and give this school, this boutique, this fitness boutique a facelift. Like we're giving it
Mhm.
you called it a glow up. It's a glow, we're
Yeah, the
glowing
glow
up.
up.
It's a glow up. So this changes. Nothing about this changes for our students we have now, for our future students. It's still the same template where we have the $25 a month are for the workouts, and then the $40 a month are for everything. That includes the workouts in the and the workshops. And so here, this is the tells you more about it, us as teachers. We also have a new YouTube channel, don't we, Paula? Do you want to talk about the YouTube channel?
Yeah, we do, which is very exciting. So we haven't quite uploaded anything just yet because we only just
Open
created that
it.
today. But we are going to be uploading this video, so this will be up there. And yeah, we just basically thought we would wanted to create a YouTube channel just for Fusion Body Studio
Yeah,
because we understand that people out there that are interested in fitness might not be interested in so much of the other topics that we talk about. So we wanted to have something that can be just based on fitness. And also what we would really like to do is we would really like to start interviewing people in the fitness world. We
yeah,
would love to speak to anybody that has had a major transformation. We don't care what kind of exercise you've done. We're not judgmental on that. We believe in all types of
yeah.
exercise, but we would love to hear from people that have lost weight or transformed their body or maybe healed some kind of an illness through exercise, because so many people have done that. And then we're also hoping to interview some experts as well. We're going to have my personal trainer come on and have a little chat with us about what it's like being a personal trainer and what he does. And we're going to have Todd on because Todd is an incredible Ashtanga yoga teacher. Obviously, Bryce is an incredible Ashtanga yoga teacher. So we want to get different people in the fitness world coming on, sharing their advice, sharing their journey, and basically we want to learn as much as we can. So if anybody out there is interested and has a story to share with fitness, please get in contact with us at the Fusion Body Studio. We would love to hear from you. And yeah, we just want to share this knowledge with as many people as possible.
Right, and that's our plan too, you guys. You guys know as we're building, we're not even a year old yet. So I've been the primary teacher on the Fusion Body Studio. We have Cindy's got a class up there. But as we grow and expand and we get our footing, we want this to be this online fitness boutique. Like I don't
Mhm.
want to be the only, even though this is what I do for a living outside of YouTube and it's what I'm very passionate about, I don't want to be the only voice that you hear. I want you to hear from other personal trainers, yoga teachers, other people as well, because at the end of the day, I mean, Paula, you've said it with your personal trainer, even though I consider myself a teacher, he considers
Mhm.
himself a trainer. We have different forms of modality we're working with, but you've told me we're telling you similar things, aren't we?
Yeah, so similar. Even though you guys have never met, never talked to each other before, and have come from completely different kind of lines of training, but you both are very similar in the way that you talk about, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and being consistent and making the changes and things like that. And it's just great. And I love that he's also is not focused on getting bikini bodies and things like that. He's more interested in building those foundational movements and making sure that you are moving correctly. He's very much just like you are about quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
So, a few times I've been doing the workouts and I've been struggling a little bit, and he'll say, okay, just have a break now. I'd rather see you do, instead of doing well, I think I was doing like 15 reps or something, is like I'd rather see you do 8 really good ones than have a break and then come back and then do the remaining ones after, rather than pushing through to reach the 15 point, but I haven't done them properly because I'm just too sore or too tired or whatever. So it's really about the quality, and that's what you teach as well. In all of your classes, you're very much about making sure that we're in the right position and and moving our body in the correct way so that we don't get injuries. Very much about active stretches, so that we don't get injuries. All of that is really, really important. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
I heard somebody say this once, and I think this is brilliant. I use this all the time in my live classes as well. It doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're going in the wrong direction.
yeah.
Likewise, it doesn't matter how slow you're going when you're going in the right direction.
Mhm.
And so I would rather you have like three really good squats where you're totally engaged and your muscles are in the right position and you're dropping as low as you can, three really good ones, than 10 half-assed ones where you're out of alignment,
Yeah.
right? It's about that intentional movement, intentional movement. Where am I sending my energy? Where, and that's what we learn, like when we get into the when you get into the esoteric stuff with the body, like the chakras, all that kind of stuff, we learn that the eyes are the tops of the spine. And the spine,
Mhm.
we have all those axis videos on our platform, which
Yes.
is about the spine, really. So the spine is the holder of energy, right? That's the line of our body that is in both the body and the spirit. So where the eyes go is where the energy flows. So when we're
Mhm.
in a squat and we've got the eyes, we're not just looking around the room. That if we're looking around the room, our body is going to start to go kind of like that balloon at the car dealership, right?
Yeah.
Eyes are focused, the core pulls in, and we're able to then direct the energy of the body. And that energy within your body is what's so special. And the bad guys of the world know that, right? That's why there's so many distractions, right? And so if we learn to hone that in, and that we can take care of our health, we can take care of our mind, we can literally be as, I was telling my class yesterday morning, you know, to be healthy to actively choose to take care of yourself, to actively choose to get up early in the morning and to work out, you're not going to get more punk rock than that.
Yeah.
Because the punk rock is about, giving the middle finger to the establishment, right? That's the whole genre of punk rock and roll. So when you're
Mhm.
actually saying, no, thank you, I'm going to take responsibility for my body and I'm going to honor my body for what its ability to do. You can't be more punk rock than that. You can't be more anti-establishment than that. Everybody wants to be the cool kid, right? You can't be the cool kid without actually taking your power back, right? And that's
Yeah,
what exercise
and
does.
I don't know about you, but what is more cooler than seeing a really hot, ripped 70-year-old working out, males and females? I mean, on Instagram, some of the reels I am seeing of women and men in their 60s, 70s, 80s,
There was
and
one
they,
93-year-old that was in
yes,
a
oh
weightlifting
my God,
competition. I think I shared
yes,
it
I
with you
saw
on
that.
Instagram. It's
It is
unbelievable, but I believe it because I've
unbelievable.
seen it for 19 years now. I've seen it. One of the biggest things I'm seeing that's a trend on Instagram now with these health gurus will say, which I agree with them, and I think that this is something the world needs to hear. You don't start aging because you're aging. You start
Mhm.
aging because you stopped exercising.
Yeah,
Right? So you use a choice. You can make a choice. When you're young, like Scarlett or Paula's girls, like before you're 30, like your body is producing a lot of collagen, you're good. But after
yeah.
that, it's your choice. It
Mhm.
becomes a choice. Do you want to have a broken body or not? It's your
And
choice.
well, this is what has driven me. It's all this knowledge that I've been learning from you, Bryce, and from our online studio, and that has is what has driven me to want to go see a personal trainer because I've never wanted to see one in my life. And I said to Bryce, if I was in Atlanta, I'd want to train with you, but obviously I'm all the way in Perth in Australia, so big long distance away.
We can find that
So
portal that she can just pop in and out.
yeah, I know that would be great. But yeah, so I decided to do that because I'm like, okay, well, I'm over 35 now. I'm 38. So it seems to be around 30 to 35. That's when your muscles starts to deteriorate. And I'm like, okay, wow, I really need to start working on this now. I need to start doing some weight training and strength training so that, I can age well because for me, like, I'm kind of not so much worrying about wearing bikinis and stuff like that because I'm a mom. I've had 3 kids. I'm just like, yeah. But what I am concerned about is I want to be able to, get to the ground. What about when my girls have kids? I want to be a grandmother that can get on the ground and play with my grandkids. I want to be able to pick them up. I want to be able to be fit and healthy to do things. I do not want to be. That's one thing I've always been scared about with getting older was I
Not being
don't know.
independent.
It's being not being independent. I think that's
Yeah.
what kind of scares me.
I
It,
want to be
it
able to
being
run up and down the
dependent.
stairs, you know?
Yeah. And like having to have a wheelchair or a walking, kind of thing, a walking crane or frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. So basically that scares me. I really want to be strong enough to be able to support myself and live a good healthy life, and I've only just learnt this recently that muscle like strength training and weight training is the way. Building up your muscles is the way to do that,
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
they're
just
learning
incredible.
with your so dementia is something that I fear.
Yeah.
My grandmother had dementia. Um,
Yes, same.
it's a Vata disorder, and I'm Vata, so that's something I've always been concerned about. But we're learning now, the stronger your leg, there's a huge correlation between leg strength specifically and
Yeah.
dementia.
Isn't
So
that
it's a
incredible?
90. So if you work your legs, which we do a lot of leg work in the
Yes, we
with
do.
all of our classes, leg work is fundamental, I think, to every form of exercise because legs are the
Yeah.
strongest. So if you are doing leg strengthening exercises 3, 4, 5 times a week, you have lessened your percentage of getting dementia by 90%, you guys.
Yeah,
Nine
that's crazy.
zero. That's pretty close. I mean, you are really taking care of your mind by taking care of your quadriceps, your calves.
And who would have thought? Who
I
would
mean,
have thought that relation
the ancients knew
between,
this. The ancient yogis knew this. The mystery schools of Egypt knew this. Your mind
yeah,
become when your mind is clear and calm then you can spiritually become clear and calm, right? You're not
Mhm.
stuck in delusion. I think most of the spiritual world I see to date, Paula, from my perspective, is it's all delusional. You're deranged. Most 99% of the channelings I see on YouTube are complete bullshit. It's just a delusional person trying to live in the ego of their imagination. And
Yeah.
and the more that you're in your body, I think the more discernment you also have with being able to call people out because you know the struggle. Like when we've talked about this before, so I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I've been doing this for 19 years. For 19 years, I've been, sweat, blood, and tears, like literally bruised, working in my body to the point of breaking on my mat, crying, like all over the world, training with some of the hardest teachers in the world. I've been through the ringer. And so when I'm
Mhm.
sitting here, and I'm an extreme example, most people have also experienced that just by going to their gym, right? Just by going to but when you've been through
Yeah.
that and you're watching somebody on the screen who is massively overweight, massively unhealthy, and they're trying to teach you and tell you something, and
Yeah.
that person has not dealt with their own demons, they haven't even begun to face themselves, then you turn the channel off because like I love Sloan Bella. She's a channeler on YouTube. I think she's hysterical because she says it like it is, and she's right
Yeah.
about a lot of stuff. She's absolutely correct about a lot of stuff, but she also talks about exercise. She doesn't talk about it in every single video. She's a massive runner. And she talks about going out and running every morning. There are videos that you go to her YouTube channel, some of her lives. She talks about this, not necessarily in her channeling videos, but in her lives she talks about how every single morning she goes out there and she runs like 5, 6 miles before she even dares to sit down and start to do this channeling. So she's even one
Wow.
of the biggest, most famous channelers in America, Sloan Bella, huge following,
Oh,
huge YouTube
oh, I
channel.
have to check her out.
She's awesome.
Mhm.
She talks about this. She does a lot of the aerial, like, but you've got to be in your body. You've got to be in your
Yeah.
body. You cannot be spiritual and be out of your body.
Mhm.
You can't, that's bullshit. You can't because you came here to be in a body. You can't
Yes.
override your soul's decision. Your ego, when you do that, people's egos, their false sense
Mhm.
of self is trying to override the experience that the soul set up for you. And you don't get more spiritual than the soul.
No.
So if your false sense of self, your illusionary world is trying to justify why you're not working on yourself, then you're overriding your soul. You're pushing the soul down, which just means that you're going to have to come back here and do this again. Right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of want to ask you, Paula, because you've been in this world. Like I remember being in my early 20s, because I always had weird paranormal experiences with like ghosts. I'm O negative, so I've had, weird experiences. And my early 20s really thought spirituality was about like channeling and tarot cards and talking to ghosts. And it wasn't until I started to really dive into yoga that I started to realize absolutely not. So
Mm.
it's been a long time for me. So I've been 19 years now sitting in this world of true spirituality. The ghost stuff, the tarot card reading, that's fun. That's fun stuff. But it's not actual spirituality is working on your own spirit. Right? It's not spirituality isn't talking to other spirits. That's just communication. Spirituality is you facing your own spirit, and your own spirit is in your body, is housed in your body. So my question to you, Paula, because it has been, I can vaguely think back to when I was in my early 20s and what my perception was, but regardless, your early 20s is a long way away from 42. So, since you come into this world with me now, I wanted to hear your journey of like, because you're a healer, you're a Reiki healer, you do a lot of meditations. And so I want to start with you to talk to our audience about your revelations about from beginning. Like when you first heard me say exercise is the foundation of spirituality, what were your thoughts when I said that?
Yeah, I think I kind of like took it on, but didn't really quite get it straight away. Because I think mainly just because of all the programming, and I mean, I've gone through stages of being quite into exercise and not in my life, especially in my teenage years. I really think I struggled with like body dysmorphia.
Same,
I,
same.
I
Yeah.
thought I was so big. And then I go look back at photos. I was like, oh my God, I had like a size 8. Well, in Australia, a size 8 is pretty small. And I was just like, oh my God, I had like a perfect body. What was I on about? But, in my mind, I was comparing myself to my older sister, my younger sister. I had I had one friend who ended up becoming a famous supermodel. So I was comparing myself to all these very slim, tall people. And I just felt like I was short and I'm curvy, you know, I've got like an hourglass kind of figure. So I just felt like I was big. I'm like more like a Marilyn Monroe rather than Audrey Hepburn, you know, and so, but my body was great. And I was like, what was I worried about? But I went to the gym for a little bit back then and I'd go running and I got into rowing for a little bit because a few of my friends, we all did rowing together. But I never ever did it from the perspective of love or caring for myself. It was always, I have to do this because I need to work on my body because my body is not good enough and no one's going to love me if my body is not perfect. And I look back now and I'm like, that is so sad. Like, how sad that I had that perspective, but so many of us do.
Mhm.
And then I kind of veered away from all of the more cardio stuff. And as I had my daughters, I kind of got more in. I found Pilates was actually my favorite for quite a few years. I even bought these Pilates like pregnancy DVDs to watch and stuff like that. I probably did it like a handful of times while I was pregnant. I was so, at being a Vata, I was so sick,
Yeah.
so tired.
Yeah.
Like pregnancy was really not a fun time for me. Um, but yeah, so then, you know, and then in the last few years, I have been wanting to improve my exercise, but wasn't really sure where to go with it all. And then just since listening to you and you just talking about how important exercise is through your channel and then we obviously then I got in contact with you and we started the Esoteric Academy together and I was just like, oh my God. And then of course, so I started practicing as soon as even before we launched, because I'm very much like, I don't want to be a fake person. I want to show that I'm doing the work too, that we're talking about. I mean, obviously, with the more spiritual quantum healing stuff, I'm a lot more experienced at that. But when it came to exercising from a spiritual perspective, I was not experienced with that at all. So I really wanted to walk the talk. And yeah, so since November, really, I've been doing your exercise classes. And look, I've had ups and downs with it. I've had times when I've been more consistent and then weeks when I haven't been as consistent. But I really am noticing really big improvements and yeah, it really you really do break through stuff. And I want to say like it's kind of hard to have an ego when you do this work
Yeah.
because
You're getting your
it
ass
pushes
kicked every
you.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting your ass kicked. You really are. When I go see my personal trainer, I'm getting my ass kicked. But what I'm so proud of now is thanks to you and doing all the work that you've been doing and teaching. And obviously it's also been my choice to take that on. But I'm like going and seeing a personal trainer now, which I never would have done before. And I'm in there and instead of saying, oh my God, this is too hard, I can't do this, because I was always just that kind of person, or this is too hard, I'm giving up. I was just like, I can do this. And I'm pushing myself to levels. Like I got on the exercise bike just for like 2.5 minutes in between the weight training yesterday. And I got off the bike and my trainer looked at me, he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, nearly fell over. I'm like, just give me a minute. I'll be right. Just give me a minute. Whereas in the past, I would have bolted from there and I would have never come back. I was like, no, this is way too hard, giving that up. But because I'm doing it for different reasons now, I'm like, no, I want to age well. I want to be strong and healthy. Dementia runs in my family too. My auntie just passed away maybe 2, 3 weeks ago from
Sorry.
dementia. Really, really sad because she is younger than my dad. And I love my dad to bits, but I actually can't. We all kind of thought that he would probably get dementia before she did. So it was quite a shock. My gran, who I was so close to, she was so special to me. She passed away from, well, she got dementia and then I think it kind of turned into Alzheimer's. I'm not sure how all that works, but that's what
The
she kind of
brain.
passed away.
Brain starts to, yeah, it's a deterioration of the
It's
brain.
brain
Yeah.
stuff, yeah. And she struggled with depression a lot during her life as well. It's just such a shame because she was such a beautiful person. Um, but I'm just like, man, I don't want to end up like this. And then her husband passed away from bowel cancer. Yeah, it was bowel cancer. So I'm just like, I don't want this. I don't want to end up like that. And I'm like, I can change all of this right now by committing to doing strength training and weight training and exercising. And we have the perfect place to do it because I'm just gonna blow you up right now, but you are such an incredible teacher. Like, I love your workouts so much because I feel so, once I've completed the workout, I just feel very rounded and very balanced because of the way that you do it. That you're getting us working up, and then we got kind of slowing down, and then you're doing some strength training exercises, and then you get us a heart rate back up again and back down. And then at the end, we're ending with either you've done some meditations in some of the videos, or we've created the post-workout meditations. So we end with a nice post-workout meditation, and that really just integrates what
Every
your body's just been through. And then I just feel like the rest of the day, just it's such a great way to start the day. It's powerful.
It calms your nervous system down. It gets you in your body. It calms your brain down. So especially if you have like a stressful job, if you're starting your day off challenging the brain through workout, it's going to make
Mhm.
your brain's going to get more oxygen, more blood flow. So
Mhm.
there's no downside to it at all. It's all positive and good. And it's interesting you talk about running from hard. One thing that I've learned over my 19 years is the harder the better because the harder the more interesting. So when I find something hard and challenging, I go, oh, like what's that? Like, well, I felt that in my body. That's a new sensation. What, let me, I'm gonna stay here for a second.
And
What
explore
is
that.
this? Because this is new. And there's that whole thing
Mhm.
like, you don't hate something that's new because you hate it. You hate it because it's new and you just don't know it yet. So what happens if you just explore it and you just allow yourself to be a beginner and we talked a lot in the last workshop or live class we did this past weekend, which is up on the Academy now if you missed it, where I did a whole thing about active stretching, right? Like where a lot of the stretching that's happening, especially in the cardio classes, people don't realize that that's happening. They're actually actively stretching, right? Because passive
Yeah.
stretching, when the muscles are not engaged, is dangerous. Passive, and a
Yeah.
lot of people I notice think passive stretching is stretching, but that's how you're going to herniate your disc. That's how you're going to damage yourself. We want active stretching because that's when the muscles are engaged, blood is flowing, joints are protected. That's the
Mhm.
physical side of it. Spiritual side of it, when the muscles are engaged, joints are protected, you're able to move that elixir through the body that flows with the blood and the oxygen, right? If
Yeah.
it's like a hose, a hose, if it's twisted up, it can't, the water gets stuck, it can't move. But if it's straight, so if it's active, water can move. And so there's different sides to this. We start with the
Totally.
physical though, because the physical is what opens up to the spiritual. So we talked about this. It's moving with intention. It's being able to lift the arm and really stretch and lengthen and not just throw the arm up, right? And so that helps the body elongate. It helps get everything to move. It helps everything come into the brain with inversion. So anytime you're in a downward dog or a hanging forward fold or a headstand or a handstand, the organs are flipped upside down, and so that's considered resting the organs. So even though the body is active, the muscles, the organs are all flipped, and so they're in a state of rest, which is
Mm.
helping the muscles stay flexible and active, or the organs stay flexible and active. And that's what happens when we age too. Not only does our skin get saggy with age, but so do our
Yeah.
vital organs. And so
Oh,
if you see
yeah. I
if
never
you're
really thought about that.
yeah, and that's what's really important, right? So if you're working your body to stop, because sagging skin is a choice. That's a choice you've made.
Wow.
So if you're not
Wow.
exercising and you've got saggy old skin, that's the choice you've made. If
Actually, I have noticed that on some of the older people on Instagram reels,
they don't
like
have
their
saggy skin,
skin is firm,
it's
and
firm
I'm just
because they made
blown
that
away.
choice to strengthen their body. And so that's a good indicator when you look at the skin, the fascia, what's happening, that's a good indicator of what's also happening in the organs too. Right?
Right.
So
Wow.
that's when we're able to get the fascia, the muscle strong, so the skin is strong. You can rest assured that's also what's happening to your organs as well.
Yeah, because we forget that skin is an organ as well.
It's the biggest detoxing organ that you have. That's why it's important to sweat. The fitter
Yeah.
you are, the fitter you are, the faster you're going to sweat. Right? So people who are super fit start sweating in the first couple of minutes of their workout. People who are really unfit, it's going to take them a while to get that sweat to build. So start watching that with your sweat. The faster you're sweating, You'll notice that the fitter you get, the quicker you're going to start to sweat. It's because your muscles start
Interesting.
detoxing. Your body starts to your body goes, "Oh, I know what this is. Now we're going to detox," and starts to work with you. So the body starts to work with you to help you detox. My teacher in India would call it your poisons, that you're sweating your poisons out. That
Yeah.
could be toxins, but it could also be bad thoughts that are poison
Yeah.
that you're getting rid of. Yeah, and just because something is hard doesn't mean it's not fun.
Yeah.
A lot of things that are hard are also fun, right? So we try to have fun with the work, even though we're working hard and sweating. And that's the thing, Paula. We have a whole new weight loss section too. We know that weight loss is important to people. And so
Yeah.
we've created where I've taken videos that are really good for weight loss and we put them together so you have them all together in one playlist. And it's for people who are willing to take accountability and lose weight, I applaud you because the body does tell you. The body shows you when it's out of balance, and weight gain is one of the areas where the body is telling you something is wrong. It's trying to
Yeah.
it's
You
asking you
know,
for
it's
help.
out of balance. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
it's
changes. Yeah.
just like rings under your eyes, rashes show you something's wrong. Weight gain is also an indicator that the body is asking you for help by showing
Yeah.
you. And losing 1 pound of weight takes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. So people who are on that journey of weight loss, we have things to support you. We get that excuse a lot, or I get that excuse a lot. Well, the food today, the world today. Paul and I have the same foods you have, and we're not
Yeah.
overweight.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I'm not a perfect eater. I mean, sometimes I have weeks when I'm just extra busy and I don't always, have as much time to cook and things like that. But I just try and just choose as healthy options as I can, and it's just, yeah, it's
And it's managing it.
over,
Like
overeating.
why
Overeating's a big problem too, you
yeah, that's
know.
the management. So let's look at this. If you're overweight, let's figure out why you're overeating because that's the issue. At the end
Yeah, and
of
it's
the
usually an
day,
emotional issue.
it's an emotional bandage. So usually at the end of the day, taking health out of it, weight loss, if you eat more calories than you burn, you're going to gain weight. If you eat less
Yeah.
calories than you burn, you're going to lose weight. That's so what is causing you because at the end of the day, as healthy as I try to be, as healthy as Paula tries to be, as healthy as you watching try to be, we know that the food is kind of crap. We know that we can buy what we think is organic and we learn that maybe it's not so organic. So at the end of the day, there are just things that are out of our control when it comes to
Yeah.
food.
Mhm.
However, if you're working out, you're creating a machine that's going to be able to fight that faster
Exactly.
than bodies who are not created as machines. And so it supports you in that way too. And then if you start to notice, like, am I eating too much because I'm avoiding an uncomfortable emotion? Well, exercise is going to help you reorganize that. My
Mhm.
David Greek, my original teacher, he would wait a long time before he talked to people about food because sometimes when you just start exercising first and you commit to that, you're naturally going
Yes,
to you're naturally going to evolve to want to eat a different way.
definitely.
You're going
Yeah.
to want to eat more nutrient dense foods because you feel it better supporting your body, you have better workouts, you sleep better. You're still going to start to notice things that are going to evolve. It's going to evolve to where you want to eat a particular way. Like I look for nutrient dense foods. Guys know I
Mhm.
love my Skittles. Like Skittles are my favorite candy, but they're empty calories, right? Like I really look for foods that are nutrient dense because it feels better in my body when I eat
Yeah.
those foods. I feel better in my body. I feel healthier. I feel more grounded. I feel more alert, right?
And you feel satisfied, and then you don't have as many cravings because sugar cravings is definitely something that I've struggled with a lot as well in the past. But then when I find that I'm eating nutrient dense foods, like you say, as well, then you just those cravings aren't there.
You're
You just
satisfied.
don't have them.
Your
Yeah.
body is set and is able to take that's like giving your car. So many people want to give their car the best fuel possible. Well, why aren't you
Mhm.
giving your body the best fuel possible?
Yeah.
So I definitely, and they say that to diet it's like 80% kitchen, 20% exercise. I disagree with that. It's funny, Todd and I have been doing research. I can't talk about it too much yet, but we're doing really deep research into this percentage, and it seems that
Mhm.
it's actually flipped. It's
Wow.
80% working out, exercise, 20% food.
Wow. That's incredible.
And that might just be the times we're in too because of the food that we have, but it's
Could be.
literally
Yep.
exercise is legitimately everything. It's
Yeah.
everything.
It's it's medicine, basically.
Medicine. Yeah, that's I mean that clip I sent you of that little boy who had the we talked about this last week who had the pituitary tumor.
Hmm.
And the mother took him to all these different doctors, and all the doctors said, sorry, we can't do anything for him. His body was falling apart. He was gaining a bunch of weight. His feet were huge. He couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair, and she was bound and determined not to give up. And so she studied, 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 went around the world studying, and she found the cure. And what was the
Yeah.
cure? The gym,
Exercise. Yep. It's
exercise.
incredible.
And she got him in the gym, lifting weights. And now this little boy is walking without a walker. He's not in the wheelchair anymore. He's lost the weight. The video of him dancing with his family. He's a 16-year-old kid
Yeah.
again. It was just
So
the
good.
gym. That was the answer, was the gym.
And isn't that crazy? Like, who would have thought
I mean,
that that would completely change his life in such a dramatic way?
the our ancestors knew this. That's why, like, there in the Hathar's book we read a long time ago by Tom Kenyon, the Hathars told the story about this guy in ancient Egypt where they had these three mystery schools, beginner, intermediate, advanced, three different schools. And every
Mhm.
person started at the beginner and moved up to the advanced. Well, the Hathars tell the story about this guy who in Egypt times kept coming to the advanced school trying to skip the first two and just go to the advanced. And they wouldn't let him in. They know you have to start at the beginning. No, you have to start at the beginning. No, you have to start at the beginning, but he wouldn't do it. His ego was so big that he wanted to leapfrog to the end. Well, I think that's another thing we struggle with too in our society. I think that's a good example. And the Hathars basically said this guy spent his whole life avoiding the work that he never got a chance to even start the work because he kept trying to leapfrog to the end. Everybody wants to leapfrog to the end results, right?
Mhm.
Nobody wants to start at the beginning level. And you have to that you can't leapfrog to the end. We see that we were talking about off camera with Ozempic, right?
Mhm.
Ozempic is a drug for diabetes, for people who have
Yeah.
diabetes. How many
It's not
people,
for it's not for everybody else, but people are taking it, and
and
because it's skipping,
it's
to
leapfrogging.
hurry up and get those results. But then we're starting to see what those results are showing, and people are looking bad.
Yes.
Like it's
So what would
it's
have
destroying
happened
people.
if those people had just gone to the gym,
Hmm.
took a cold, hard look at themselves, an honest look at themselves, went through the ringer that I've been through, that you've now been through, that so many people watching have been through, and actually faced themselves, dealt with the problem. So if you're not a diabetic, the weight gain is you. You're the problem. I hate to break it to you. If that hurts your feelings, sorry. If that
But
hurts
we
your
have to take responsibility for if things aren't working in our lives, it's our responsibility
for
to
responsibility to change it.
change that.
Same thing with
Yeah.
me, same thing with Paula. If
Mhm.
you're sensitive and things hurt your feelings, then spirituality might not be for you. Because real
Yeah.
spirituality is an ass
It's
kicker.
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real spirituality is not going to coddle you. It's not,
Yeah. It's not just sitting
it's
there
dark.
reading tarot cards.
It's not light and love. Actually, that is the thing. Todd talks about this all the time. Spirituality is not light and love. That's not
Mhm.
what it is. That's for when you die. That's
Yeah.
the next world. Right now, it's darkness. You've got to face yourself. You've got to
It's about
face
being strong.
everything about yourself. You got to face those times. I tell this to my students here in Atlanta, the beginner course is like, sometimes you'll be in the middle of a workout and it's hard and you want to cry and you realize, hey, sometimes I'm kind of an asshole. Why? Why do you start to have these realizations about yourself that aren't comfortable. And
Mhm.
when you start, it's easy to look at our strengths, right? It's easy to say, this is what my strengths are. But to actually seriously look at yourself and say, this is my weaknesses. These are my shadow side. This is where my ego takes over. That's when it becomes hard. And
Yeah.
you go through, I mean, there was a couple of months back in 2017 where I cried literally every single day for 2 months straight. But that's normal. That's a normal part of this because you're shedding, you're releasing,
Yeah.
you're mourning what you thought you were in order to make space for what you really are.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
I've really felt that the last few months.
and you can't avoid
A
that.
lot.
If you're trying to avoid that and go around that, then you're just like that guy with the Hathars who kept trying to jump to the end. You're just like the
Yeah.
people who are non-diabetics taking Ozempic.
Yeah.
And you're not alone. Like when you go through that dark night of the soul and you go through that hardship of learning about yourself, every single person is doing the same thing with their own selves. Every single person. You're not the only one having that dark night of the soul. There's
Yeah, and I think people forget that you kind of just get a little bit stuck in, oh, poor me. Like I notice, I get the victim mentality creeps up quite a bit, and I'm just like, I have to snap myself out of it because it pops in there, and it's just like, oh, and poor me, and it's so hard, and it's just like, no, get over it. This is the work, and you've just got to keep going with it, and no matter how hard it is,
yeah,
but. I do find that when you do start to commit and do exercise regularly, not doing it once or twice a week when you kind of feel like it, but when you actually commit to doing it to 4, 5, 6 times a week, then and I'm sure many runners would agree with this, people that get up and run every day, you just start noticing everywhere in your life where things start to get better.
yeah.
You kind of just start to improve, improve your eating naturally, you improve your organization. I cleaned out my closet the other day. I've been meaning to do that for so long, and I finally just did it. And I'm now, every time I walk in there, I'm like, wow, it's so nice and organized.
Because it starts from the inside out, right? Like you're cleaning your
Yeah.
insides, and now you're clean.
And you just start doing that everywhere in your life. You start becoming more organized and start becoming more like, having routines and schedules, because just everywhere there just seems to it's like this flowing effect. And that's how it's healing,
Yeah,
because this is what I have learned over the years with healing.
it's a ripple effect.
Um, it's a ripple effect. And so, like, my kinesiologist would say to me, it's amazing this healing work that you're doing, because what you're clearing now, you're ending the cycle for your girls.
Yeah,
So that they're whatever I'm clearing in myself and getting healed is then affecting them, and it's cleared out of them, so that it's not getting passed down from generation to generation. And that's why I love healing so much. I'm like, this is just incredible, because when you're doing the work on yourself, it's affecting those around you. It's affecting your entire life and how everything shows up for you. Exercise is exactly the same way, because it's also healing, and you just start to see this ripple effect in all areas of your life. And your skin starts to glow, and people think, oh wow, you look fresh and you look good, and it just starts to affect everywhere in your life.
yeah, and
It's so
people
good.
get mistaken sometimes, even with like energy. It brings more energy into your life. People think, oh, well, I need to rest because blah. A body in motion stays in motion.
Yeah.
You feel like you're
Mhm.
lacking energy to exercise. You know what the one thing that's going to give you more energy to exercise? Exercise.
The exercise, yeah.
Yeah, and whenever I'm always tired. Like even 19 years later, I've said this before, every day I get on my mat or put my running shoes on. I don't necessarily want to be doing that.
No.
100 things I'd rather do than go for a run. I'd so much rather disassociate and watch reality TV. Some days I'd rather clean the damn toilet than do my work.
Oh, I know, it's funny how when you're procrastinating to do something, isn't it funny how all of a sudden you're so motivated to like do the dishes, and then
Cleaning
you're
the toilet,
like,
like,
oh, you know what? I'm going to wipe down the stove because I haven't done that for a while, and I'm going to clean out the oven. And it's
yeah,
like, okay, now I know that I'm really
really
procrastinating.
procrastinating. Just do it. Like I love that Nike slogan. Just do it. Just
Just do
do it.
it.
We spend
Yeah,
so much time trying to negotiate not doing it that if we had actually just done it to begin with, that
it would have been
would
finished
have
by
been
then.
easier. And
Yeah.
Todd comes on, he talks about this too. So when you start to exercise, so in yoga, so they say this in yoga. So and I believe that all physical exercise can be yoga, and it can have, obviously, that's why we have multiple disciplines on. It's just exercise. That's all it is. It's just doing exercise. So the philosophy is you're talking about the clearing of karma. because you're changing
Mhm.
different pathways. So when you work out, you're literally changing different pathways and patterns in your body. That's literally what's happening. It's what has to happen, right? Because when you're in the workout, the muscles are breaking down and they have to rebuild. So that's literally you changing patterns and pathways. So my teacher used to tell us that we are clearing and shifting 7 generations behind us and 7 generations beneath us.
Wow,
By changing, it literally will change your DNA. It will literally change the trajectory of your DNA.
that's
This has been
incredible.
known in yoga for centuries.
Yeah.
If there's something about your genetic inheritance that you're not happy with and you don't want to pass it on to your kids, get on a freaking treadmill.
Isn't that incredible? And now science is finally catching up with that.
Yeah.
And they're starting to say that, it's not just genetics that things are being passed down, it's bad habits.
Yeah, nothing really is genetic. That's the only thing that's being
Yeah,
genetic is the color of your skin, your eye color, your hair, maybe your height. That's it. But as far as
yeah.
like saying, well, I come from a fat family, no, you don't. No, you don't. You come
You've
from
just
a family of
adapted.
bad choices.
Yes, adopted bad habits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You don't come from a fat family. There's no such thing as a fat gene. There's no such thing as a skinny gene, right? Like you come from a family of people who have made bad choices, and that's so empowering because guess what? A
You
choice
can
can
do
be
something about it.
it can be
Yeah.
changed. Easy peasy. It can be changed. Just make a different choice. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I've my boyfriend struggles, Todd struggles a lot himself, even though he's a master Ashtanga teacher and he's a hard Ashtanga teacher and he practices really hard. He does struggle some with laziness. His kappa
Hmm.
he's tridosha, his kappa gets very out of hand sometimes.
Hmm.
And we've realized that it's because he's A blood type. So people who had inherited an A antigen, so whether you're A positive or A negative, they have the propensity to be low
Hmm.
energy. And they also have the propensity to want to take more naps, but somebody actually told my boyfriend, who's 53, that if he continues to take naps every day, he's going to kill himself, that he's putting himself into an early grave.
Whoa.
Straight up told him that. And that changed. Oh, the next day, he stopped napping. But my boyfriend can take that. Like we've been in this world, I've been in it for 19 years. He's close to 30 years now. We can
So
take,
so
we
why would napping every day have that effect?
because
Do
you're
you think
allowing the
because
body to drop into, you have certain rest periods at night where the body is going to. So let's look at napping. Or let's look at sleep in general. Sleep is a time to rebuild muscle. It's a time for your body to
yes.
recharge. But if you're just taking a couple hours nap, now babies, children need naps because their body is growing so quickly. So they have to
Yeah,
have those naps. But at a
of
certain
course.
age, you're not supposed to nap anymore because your body's growing in a different way. You've reached your max capacity as far as like height, your bones, for kids, their bones aren't fully fused. It takes a while for everything to fuse. Like what is it? One of your spinal bones fuses. When that fuses, that means your growing is done. And that happens in like your early 20s. So your
Yeah.
body's changing. After that happens and you're set, now the growth and the change happens by your action, not by any genetics, right?
Right.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So by the time you reach your max height, it's done. It's over. So now everything is your choice. So we can't control how tall we get or how short we are. That is literal genetics. That's literal. That is the one thing you're inheriting from your family. Thank God. My
Mhm.
dad's family, they're all like 6'5", 6'4", and my grandfather, who was 6'5", used to say all the time he was so grateful that my sister and I inherited our mom's family because his sister, my great aunt Jane, was 6 feet tall and she hated it
Wow.
being a woman and being 6 feet tall. And so I'm very glad I'm 5'5". Like I got that from my mom. So we picked those genetics, but I could have chosen to be my dad's 6'4". I could have picked those genes, but you never know until you're done growing, like which what your kids got, right?
Yeah.
So when you're in that process of total growing up, your body is having to recharge a lot. But once
Mhm.
you've hit that, everything else, as far as your waking, your muscle, that's all your choice now. That's all your actions. And so if you're
Yeah.
taking these breaks during the day and taking naps, it's causing the body to fluctuate in a very strange way. So
Oh,
it
wow.
is it's so he and I was never a napper. Like I only nap if I'm sick. Like that when I'm sick and I fall asleep during the day, and that's okay.
Oh,
Like if you're sick, your body
I'm a
needs
bit
to
more
take.
like Todd. I kind of like naps.
Yeah, he was told straight up like these naps are killing you. You're putting yourself in an early grave.
What about cultures that have like a siesta every day? Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
That would be up to someone who's more educated in that to like talk about that. But for Todd, it was like, and it always confused me, Paula, because I'm O negative, and O negatives typically have way more energy anyway. We have more oxygen in our blood. A lot of athletes are O negative. Um, I that always really frustrated me with him. Like I would get really frustrated. Like that has been a big issue in our relationship, to be honest with you, because I want to go and do things. Like
Yeah.
especially when we're on vacation. Like I want to go for a hike. I want to go and walk the beach. I want to go and explore, go to a museum. And we would get up in the morning, do our practices. We'd have this morning, and then all of a sudden, he's got to go take a 3 hour nap. And I would have to just sit there and wait for him.
Yeah.
And then he'd wake up, and then he'd have to have a cup of coffee. And it would take like another hour for him just to wake back up again for us to even go do something. And so that was really causing problems in our relationship, to be honest with you. Like there were times where I thought, I can't live like this. Like this is, I can't do this. And I would even argue with him sometimes because my parents never napped. Like when I was a
Mhm.
kid, my parents never napped. Like my dad
Yeah.
was at work all day. My mom was doing her mom things, like helping us with homework, taking us like they never napped. They even on the weekends they weren't napping. Like after we got about out of our stages of napping as kids, they never told we were encouraged to get outside, you know.
Yeah.
And so that was always very strange to me that he would do this. And
Yeah.
so when he was told that, it kind of like validated me a little bit, like not to be like, yeah, I was right. But because he was like, oh my God. And I was like, I could have probably told you that. Because I was like, Todd, it's out of hand. Like your napping is out of hand. It's getting out of
That's
hand.
really interesting. I think for me, like I like naps, but only because I think for me it's been more of like a coping mechanism because being such an empath and I have to make sure like if I forget to do like spiritual protection
Mhm.
or wear my like onyx bracelet which kind of helps to protect my energy, I tend to just absorb a lot of energy. And then I can be like a bit workaholic and do too much. And then I burn myself out. And that's, I think setting boundaries and stuff is something that I'm still working on. And so I'll just get to the point where I won't nap every day, but I'll get to the point where, it might be like the end of the week and then I've just burnt myself out. And then I need to literally nap to just recuperate, just to cope with life and then kind of pick myself back up
Well, that
again.
was what was talked about with Todd too, because it was
Uh,
pointed out that can also be a sign of depression, of inherited
yeah,
depression,
yeah.
and that you're trying to escape versus actually deal with. And so it was encouraged for him when he feels that way to go take a walk or to go for a run, to shed it that
Interesting.
way.
Yeah.
So
Good to
it's,
know. Good
I
to
think,
know.
I think a lot of, and he got to the point too, because he's such a hardworking teacher and he's got very advanced students. And so he sweats his ass off teaching and helping and adjusting people. And so he got to this point where he was shortening his practice a little bit to try to maintain his own energy, but he was told, same thing I just said, uh-uh. If you want to continue in your 50s and 60s teaching advanced students, you're going to have to actually up your exercise yourself. And
Wow.
so it's completely changed him. Um,
Yeah.
in 1 week, he lost 9 pounds.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you
Like
said
just
doing
he
the
hasn't,
bar.
yeah, doing bar. He's been doing more bar with me. So it's literally but he was able to take that criticism because he's
Yeah.
been doing this for 30 years. So he expects that. He expects to go see someone in this field and to have them tell him the God's honest truth. Not
Yeah.
not coddling him. He's a 53-year-old man. He does not need to be coddled.
Hmm.
And once was told the God honest truth, by the next day he had changed. He has not napped in probably a month now.
Oh my
And he's
goodness.
lost 9. He's been getting more sun. He said even his students were
Wow.
saying he's looking younger. And he was like, who would have
Wow.
thought that just cutting out my naps and actually upping it even more as I get older, my exercise would have changed. I mean, his little butt, morning we were up and he was in his like, I call it his panties because I know it drives him crazy. His boxer briefs, and I always call him his panties. He was at the kitchen washing a dish and he was standing there and his little butt was so taunt. I was like, your butt's looking young again. Like you're getting that young. Young little taunt butt. But yeah, so this is not, they're literally everything you think you know about fitness is probably wrong for most people watching. It's not, you're not a delicate flower, right? You're not a delicate flower. Every single human who has a body, so that's every human on the planet, their body hurts. Everybody's got bodies that hurt.
Yeah.
Everybody's sore. Everybody's got some health issue. We all have some, that's something I've learned teaching yoga all these years. Every single human being on this planet has a health issue.
Hmm.
Whether
Yeah, we've all got something.
I got two forms of arthritis. I've also got five herniated disc, right? Like
Yeah.
every single person that walks through that door, whether they look fit and like they're an Olympic athlete, guarantee you they've got a health issue they just don't talk about. But they're aware of
Yeah,
it. But they're not using it as an excuse.
exactly. Yeah.
That's all it
Hmm.
is an excuse. And at this point, Paula, for me, like if someone's got an excuse why they're not going to change their lives, okay, it's no sweat off my back. It's your karma.
Yeah.
That's not a
She's
ghost,
saying
guys. That's not a ghost. That's
it's just my daughter.
so, and so the choice is yours. You can either take your power back or not.
Yeah, I'm just blown away about the nap thing. And I think that's fascinating. It's really, really fascinating, isn't it? And just, and I think we are it's just the easy thing to do, isn't it? Oh, I feel tired, I'll just go have a nap. When really we should be going for a walk.
Yeah, if you feel tired,
And
okay,
because,
go
and
for a
like
walk.
you said, because I've seen it in those little Instagram reels as well. And of course you've said it as well. It's just that when you're feeling tired, the solution is to get moving.
Yeah, get moving,
And
get your body moving. It doesn't have to be, especially, I always feel I get hit with being tired. It's during the Vata time of day, so anywhere between 2 and like 6 p.m. is where I start to feel sluggish
yeah.
and laggish. And so
Mhm.
that's usually when I take Ravi on a WALK. I have to spell, guys, because he's right here.
Yeah,
That's usually when I
I
go,
can't say the PARK word.
yeah, exactly. Like I get the leash and I go, do you want to go on a W? And then we get outside and we go and and that helps kind of course correct that and get that energy back a little bit. And so I just, it's
That's a
coffee.
good excuse.
Yeah, when
Dogs
you've
are
got
a great.
dogs, the veterinarian I work with in India who helps us rescue dogs, he has a sign in his office, in his vet office. It's great. It's above the scales for the dogs. And it says, if your dog is overweight, that means you need more exercise.
Oh, wow.
I love that. If your dog is overweight, you need more
That is
exercise.
good. Yeah.
Um, so do we want to show people, Paula, the new, I know you're signed out. Do you want to push share screen and show them our the new layout of the inside? I showed the outside, the exterior of our.
Yeah, absolutely. I will just get the screen. So we've got our new Fusion Body Studio YouTube channel. So please subscribe.
That will be linked below, guys. We're going to be for a while, we're going to be putting all the videos on both of our channels and the Fusion Body Studio just to help
Yeah.
get people. So please, if this is something you're interested in, um, we'll probably put some free stuff up on there as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Fusion Body Studio. And
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
our new
And then,
boutique.
yes, so we've got we'll scroll up to the top. So this is inside the membership. And we've just got like a little welcome message. And then getting started, we've got some like a healthy habits tracker because that can always help to keep you accountable and motivated. We've got our 30-day beginner guide. And I also just I created the morning meditation to go with the 30-day beginner guide. But I also just created a being consistent and like an exercise motivation meditation, just to kind of it just help to keep you motivated and stay on track. And then we always have kind of just some of our new classes that we've just uploaded, our new ones. And then we've got all of our weight loss classes here, including we've got the book that Bryce created, which is just kind of like a beginner's guide to the Ayurveda diet and just working out your dosha, which is your body type, and kind of eating the best way for that, because that is probably one of the best ways you could lose weight in terms of
Yeah,
eating would be to eat for your body type.
It's healthy too. And I want to clarify too for people who have weight to lose. Like I've been telling Paula, I don't care if you come to us at 500 pounds, 600 pounds, and you're ready to do the work, we're ready to work with you. We're
Yeah,
not upset about you
absolutely.
being overweight. What upsets me as a teacher is people who have obvious problems and they're not taking accountability. They're constantly, because if you're someone who has an issue, and it doesn't matter if it's weight gain or if it's not eating enough or whatever it is, if you're constantly blaming somebody else for your problem, I can't work with you. There's nothing I
Hmm.
can do to help you. If you're not
Yeah,
ready, I don't have, there's no such thing as a magic pill. We always want this magic. That's the Ozempic, right? That's the crash diets. Like, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, they're great for what they are. But if you're not actually, if you're just going on a diet for temporary weight loss, that's what it's going to be, temporary. We really,
yeah,
you can come to me at 500 pounds and be like, something is wrong. I know I'm overeating. I'm not sure why. Great. I'm willing to, we can work now because as long as you're saying I'm taking accountability, Paula and I and everybody else in the studio in this business can help you to the best of our ability to help you help yourself. Because that's what we're doing is we're helping you help yourself. Right? Every
hmm,
single student on this academy has something they're working on, some shadow side of themselves they're working on. Some people it just comes in the form of weight gain. Right?
yeah,
And so with the Ayurvedic diet book, what we're teaching you with this is not how to diet. We're not teaching you to starve yourself. We're teaching you how to eat for your body and how to focus more on nutrition for fueling your body and giving your body the nutrition it needs versus eating for emotional support.
yeah.
So,
And just any kind of restriction or cutting food groups out is only going to ruin your metabolism.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and the best way to strengthen your metabolism, to speed it up, is to basically be eating right for your body type and having all of the kind of spices and things that you need. Um, okay, so we'll go back to yeah, so basically eating right for your type is really, really important because when we're restricting any kinds of foods, it's actually damaging our metabolism. And the best way to strengthen it is through exercise and is through eating the right kind of foods for our body
And at
type.
the
And
right
then
time of days too. There are
at
times
the right time of
diet
day, of
days, very
course.
important with the Pitta Kapha Vata time. And also we said this last week, you do have to be calorie deficient to lose weight. So if you're 200 pounds, okay, our first step is for you to eat like a 190-pound person, not like 100. So you're not trying to eat like your goal weight.
Yeah.
Right? A 200-pound person and a 120-pound person are going to have a very different volume of food they eat every day.
And,
We're
and
not
it's just too dramatic.
too
You won't be
dramatic.
able to stick with that.
So we're going to take, and for a 200-pound person to eat like a 190-pound person, that might be as simple as cutting 200 calories, which is literally a cup of yogurt
Mhm.
a day
Yeah.
out of your diet. Right. So we were going to go slowly. And I often, we say this, I'm not a fan of scales. I don't really like people. I mean, you do you. Like, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I know some people have to have the scales, but I feel like the scales take away from our own ability to subtly feel into our bodies.
Mhm.
So, so yes, I wanted to clarify that about weight gain too, because I know that's a hot topic for a lot of people. If you're too busy waiting for if something is too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no get rich scheme, quick scheme. There's no quick weight loss scheme that's going to work. The med bed is another magical pill, magical thinking. That's a sign of a mental disorder that people are waiting for. No, it's there's no such thing. You can't leapfrog to the end. If you keep trying to leapfrog to the end and keep blaming somebody else and try to get to the advanced, you're just building karma for yourself. You're just gonna have to come back and do it again. Right? And so
Yeah.
let's just start from the beginning to just being as raw and vulnerable as possible. I
And,
need
and just take small steps.
and take
Just take small steps.
accountability. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take accountability. You know, nobody's, you're responsible for if you want to be free, then you have to act free.
Mhm.
You have to act
Yeah.
sovereign. Yeah. So anyway,
And take your power back. Take
yeah,
your power back.
take your
Learn
power back.
learn this stuff and practice it and take your power back. That's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, and so then we've got Bryce has taught us some Ashtanga yoga classes, but you've only done the quarter primary series because it's just not safe to do any more than that online. You
Yeah.
know, you really need to go to an actual do it in person. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
with
that's
Ashtanga
why,
yoga, yeah, I've done it's modified. So I've done the quarter primary series modified. So I'm doing it modified because Ashtanga is so there's a lot of intensity and it's taught in a particular way. So there is a particular way of teaching it that involves in-person teaching. The teacher needs to be there with you with their hands on you. So I'm only comfortable with teaching quarter primary series online that's modified just for people's safety. But if you like the Ashtanga, then and you want to find a Mysore program near you, I can always help you find a teacher in your area.
yeah, absolutely. And then we've got the Axis strength training, which is all about strengthening your spine. And we've got cardio dance classes. We've just got one up with Cindy at the moment, but she is going to be filming some more for us. We've got the flush and restore and some foundation classes. We've got the bar fusion. Oh, I haven't refreshed the page.
That's okay.
And that was meant to be at the top. And then we've got our vinyasa flow classes, our live classes that we have done, which we do record,
Mhm.
but you don't need to worry because the recording is only showing Bryce doing the workouts. It's not showing anybody else who's participated. And then when we have a discussion afterwards, we just stop recording or cut that out so that, you know, we're not in
We're not exposing
nobody's
anybody's, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
privacy. That's yeah. And then we've got some walking workouts, and then we've got our post workout meditations, which have been really, really popular. I've been getting some really great feedback from our members saying how much they are loving and the post workout meditations. Some of them have been done by Bryce, and some of them have been done by me, and they really seem to be having a really good impact on people.
Yeah, and we
Really
want to
help.
give people that freedom, guys. A teacher's job is to eventually not be needed. And so
Yeah.
we're trying to teach you guys. We hope you continue, obviously, always with us. We love having you here. But we want to give you guys, we're not a cult. We want to give you guys freedom. So if you want to go for a run, if you want to go take another exercise class in person or go for a swim, we want to create a post-workout recovery for you so that you can complete your workout on your own so that you can integrate everything. So I'm glad people are liking the post-workout meditations. That's good to
Yeah,
hear.
it's really good. And then we've got our somatic healing and strength training. And then we've even got a little alchemist class, which is great for some of our little kids that join
Yeah,
in.
we have fun with them. And something we're doing
Yeah.
too, guys, I gotta change. There's still some more thumbnails I've got to change, but we're trying to make it cleaner. So we're trying to make all the thumbnails match for
Mhm.
each category and just change the background color. And so if you've noticed, we've put the minutes in the corner, the right-hand corner, so you can see 40 minutes, 60 minutes. Now 75 and 90 minutes look a little bit different because I wanted those to pop out a little bit more because those are
Mhm.
long haul exercises. So I want you to see that right away. And I know some people, some of our students really love the longer, the 75-minute 90 ones, but especially if you're new, so you see that and you go, okay, that I'm here for 75 minutes or an hour and a half, 90 minutes if I click on this video. So that helps, I think, organize that a little bit different. With the cardio dance, that's ones I was just telling Paula, that's the one. We have a lot of cardio in all of our categories, but the cardio dance we want it to be fun. And so
Yeah.
we've got a disco. I'm not a fan of country music, but I am filming a country music one for you guys that's going to be lower impact. And we're going to do, I think I'm going to do one soon that's like pop music from the 2000s. So, and it's something that I think the cardio dance, correct me if I'm wrong, Paula, like we've got one 20-minute one 30-minute one 60-minute one. The cardio country is going to be like 40 minutes. So they're going to be different times, but I want this to be a class, even though we already have the little alchemist. I want the cardio dance classes to also be classes you can do by yourself for fun, but also like with your kids for fun too,
Yeah.
you know? So, so that's yeah. That's our exercise. That's 25 a month, guys. It's just that's the price. We were laughing, Paula, because Soul Cycle, there's a huge Soul Cycle documentary that just released. They charge $40 for a drop-in. For just one class, which is only 45 minutes, you pay $40. Most yoga classes you pay like $25 just for one drop in. And so what you're paying for less than a soul cycle class and for basically one yoga drop-in class, you're getting all of this. We put 2 to 4 new workout videos up a month.
Hmm.
And I love the what's new because it rotates out. So we rotate out,
Yes.
so you always see what's new. And then for the
Yeah.
$40, you're getting all of this, all of this exercise plus the workshops as well, which we used to call that the courses. Now we're calling
Yes.
them workshops. Just so it's the same thing, but it's just so people have a better understanding of what it is that are in the workshop course. And Todd is going to be recording this weekend actually some go ahead and recording some of our Vedic chanting that's going to be in our workshop so
Oh,
people
great.
chanting. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, just in the full membership, we've got some getting started information. We've got our beginner guides, and we've got some hypnotic meditations that I've created. And I did also create one for healing excess weight, one that you can listen to in the morning if you want to, or anytime during the day. And then I created, it's pretty much the same one, but just with the countdown is to get you into a deep sleep. All of these ones, the countdown gets you into a deep sleep. Um, and I'm adding to them as well. And then we've got our special interviews, and then we also do a live call every month. So, and the first few live calls, we're just kind of getting to know our members and talking about different topics. But then we've started to talk about other particular topics. So we've talked about the doshas, we've talked about somatic healing, and then we had Cindy come on and talk about somatic healing. And then I did quantum healing. So I did like an introduction to quantum healing, and I'm looking at doing another one. And then we're also hoping to get Tamara on to chat as well to us about everything. So yeah, it's really, really exciting. We've got so much content, and we've got all of our courses as well. We've got the 10-day shadow work challenge, which is for free for anybody who wants to do that. But then we've also got our other courses as well. We've got so many that you can go through. They're all included with the full membership price.
yeah.
And yeah, so there's so much content, and we're always adding to it, always growing, and adding more. We're getting more and more guest people on to talk about different things. And we're going to get more trainers on to do different classes and things like that. So it's
We're
it's
just growing.
definitely worth the money. It's
And
worth the money.
I'm so happy. I like the website looks so much better now. And of course, Paula, we were just talking about before we signed on, what we're doing is very unique. Most online platforms that are fitness oriented are only fitness oriented. That's all they do. Even if the owner is aware of the spiritual stuff, they just focus solely on the fitness. But we've opened up a workshop page as well. And so we're a little bit different because we also have the workshop to give you, those who want it, have more of an academic look of what, we talk about the Bhagavad Gita and the alchemy of movement. You can choose if you want to, you can do just exercise alone and get the same information subtly. But if you want a deeper look and a deeper understanding intellectually, what we call jnana yoga intellectually, you can do the workshops too. So that makes us a little bit different. And that's why we went originally with the Esoteric Academy because really
Yeah,
this
because
is
we were
about your
more,
it's
yeah,
spiritual. This is what it is. It's spiritual. However, again, we realized that most people in the world didn't understand what we were saying. And so we
yeah,
changed the name to Fusion Body Studio to help people understand outside of our people that this is a gym. This is a fitness boutique that's modeled after the ancient mystery schools in the way that they taught, in the way that they first worked with the main tier. The main one is tier 2, which is the exercise classes that gives you that foundation of
yeah,
everything else that happens in the workshops. And so that's
which
why
is the
we
most
divided it.
important.
Yeah, because some people will never want to take a workshop, and that's totally fine. As long as you're taking
Yeah.
care of your body, you'll do 25 a month, and that's totally fine. And if you ever decide
And
you
and
want to up it,
we've included everything you kind of need in the exercise
yeah,
part of it. So if that's all you want, that's all you need, because we've included all the important stuff in there anyway. It's
that's
more for the
fine.
people that really want to deep dive into the more spiritual.
and want
side of
that
things.
and that might be, you might sign up first only as $25 a month, but then a year from now you might start to get curious about the
Mhm.
ancient text. And so you can up it to add the extra $15 to get the all the workshops too. You can do, or you can start with the 40 and decide you've done the courses, now you want to go back and just do, that's fine as well. We're very flexible, no pun intended. We're very flexible like that. Our intention, Paula, this is a passion. I always say my two favorite passions are this and snooping on dead people through, through through research into history. Those are my two favorite topics. But I think for Paula and me, this is a business. We do have to make a living. This is I paid a lot of money for my education, so as Paula, but we're trying to, and that's also the energy exchange, right? Of the energy exchange, but we're trying to make the prices as low as possible so that people can do this, so that people can afford this. We don't want to out, we're not an exclusive club. We never want to be an exclusive club. I don't believe in exclusive clubs. Like we want to be open to everyone, and no matter where you are in your journey, our doors are open to you.
Yeah.
And do we want to talk about the affiliate program, Paula, for YouTubers or
Yes,
business
I
owners?
haven't I haven't finished getting it all completely set up, but I am planning on creating a page that will an affiliate page so that people can join up and become an affiliate if you would like to. Because word of mouth advertising is the best form of advertising. And why not get rewarded for
Right.
sharing our skill? Yeah.
If you're going to
And
talk
so,
about us anyway, we want to be able to. So basically, like Catherine Edwards is an affiliate. You probably heard Paul and I are affiliates too, but our affiliate link works a little differently because it's our business. Um,
yeah.
so like when you
So we
guys,
don't really worry about
yeah,
that.
but
We
we
just
use
want to give the
we want to
discount to
give a
you.
discount to you. So if you use like Bryce 20, you get 20% off your first 6 months. Or if you use Catherine, our friend, if you guys have seen that, that's an affiliate program. And so it gives you a discount, but it also gives them a little bit of a kickback too. So if you're a student of ours and you want to join the affiliate program, if you're a YouTuber out there and you want us to sponsor you, just reach out and we will be more than happy. So what's our email?
Yeah, so our new email is just admin like before, but now it's at fusionbodystudio.com. And yeah, if you are interested, we offer a 20% commission, and we also give you your own special coupon code so that you can give people that are interested in signing up. They will get 20% off for the first 6 months, which
Yep.
is incredible.
It's incredible.
Not very many people will offer a discount like that, but we really just want to help and reach as many people as possible. And also the affiliate program is kind of a way for us to pay it forward
Yeah.
because you know, we're still a very small business. We're just doing this ourselves. We don't have the money to spend on huge advertising right now. But the affiliates as programming is such a, whoever came up with that idea is so brilliant, I think, because it's a great way to share great products.
Yeah.
Um, and also get rewarded for that, And so yeah, we just really wanted to share that for people. Obviously, you do need to be a member to be an affiliate,
Yeah.
but the more people that you share that with, yeah, if you've got
Yeah,
a
it could
channel,
pay for your
social media,
membership. Yeah, it could
yeah,
absolutely pay you back. So yeah, so that's what we want to do. We want to give our students too. It is appreciation. They're already paying tuition, and we want to give them an opportunity for us to say thank you every time they talk to their friends about us or with their businesses. Or if you have a YouTube channel, you can use it on your YouTube channel. Every
yeah,
time you recommend us and they use your name, they get a discount and then you get a little kickback. And so it's a win-win for everybody. So if you're interested in that, again, YouTubers, business owners, whatever, just moms and mom groups, like whatever, you let us know.
yeah.
We'll set you up. Paula is the genius behind that. I always say she's the numbers person. So she ooh, my almost knocked my light out. She's the one that can get everybody set up with that. So is there anything else, Paula, before we end today?
No, I'm just really, really exciting. Everything, it just feels really fresh and new. And yeah, it just feels really, really good. And we just want to help reach as many people as possible because we just want to help people to understand why they should be exercising. Please don't do it from a place of punishment
Oh,
or self-hate. Please do it because you love yourself and you want to grow and you want to heal because it is the best way to heal,
yeah.
honestly.
It's the
Yeah.
lotus flower. That's why yoga uses lotus. The lotus has to come up through the muck and the mud to bloom. That's what you're doing. You're going through your muck and your mud to bloom, and you're shedding. You're literally freeing yourself and shedding off those layers of shadow of chains that bind you. And so, yeah, we want you to explore hard exercise, not because there's a calorie burn. That's going to happen anyway. You're
Yeah.
going to get toned anyway. You're going to get a six pack anyway. But we want you to do that so that you can explore yourself and really get to know yourself and to see what you're actually capable of because you are capable. I said this to my students yesterday morning, actually, because I taught a really hard class yesterday. I said, here's the thing. All those athletes, those Olympic athletes, guess what? You have the same muscles that they have.
Yeah.
Only difference is their muscles are awake. Yours are just
Yeah.
asleep right now. We just got to wake them up. That's all we got to do. So you are just as equipped as every all these people you admire and think are so fantastic with their sports or whatever, you are equipped just the same. We just got to
Yeah.
do the work. They've done a lot of work to get where they are. Trust me, those athletes have done a lot of work to get where they are. Those those dancers have done a lot of work to get where they are. So we just got to get you working and it'll, so yeah, so I can't wait to hear feedback, guys, especially from our students that are on the academy. Let us know. For the affiliates that we have now, nothing changes. You're just advertising us as Fusion Body Studio instead of the Esoteric Academy. It's just Fusion Body Studio now. That's all that's changed, really, is the name, and just we cleaned it up. So,
Yes.
so
And also, if anybody out there would love to share their fitness journey with us, please get in contact with us at the admin at fusionbodystudio.com because we would love to chat to you and have you on our new channel.
all right, you guys, and please subscribe. Link down below.
Yes,
Please subscribe. So, all right.
awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.